Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the war room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the hot block commander. How you wanna end a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level? Bold with the topic, sorta like the rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th and 26th, so the war in Kuwait. It's the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.
What's good, War Room family, and happy Turkey Day, happy Thanksgiving, happy Hell Day, happy Terrorist Day. However you look at it is however we're giving it to you. Happy whatever. You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan, and I'm here at the round table, the smorgasbord, with my brothers. We got Jimmy the Blueprint and B. Austin in the building. Look, man, we're going to do things a little bit differently today. It's our 9th annual Turkey Day show, so, we figured we've been doing this long enough. This is episode, what, fellas, 441? So we basically just going, man, whatever topic come up in our domes is what we're going to talk about. So our show might be a little bit all over the place today, but y'all going to enjoy it anyway. So, before we get started, as usual, make sure when we're not rocking with y'all live that you check us out. Archive episodes can be caught at warroomsports.com all throughout the week. Even this show, if you can't listen to the whole thing now, you can listen to it later on today, while you're eating, while you're cooking, whatever you're doing, while you're watching football. Just make sure you tune in. You can catch us on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google, of course, Blog Talk Radio, the War Room Sports mobile app, which is free, so make sure you go get that, iOS and Android. Other than that, man, we're going to open up the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. If anybody is out there this early in the morning, because we are recording much earlier than we usually do, but if you want to talk to us, that number is 323-410-0012. What up, fellas? What's on the menu?
What's good?
Literally and figuratively.
Yo, what's good, man? What is good? It's Turkey Day, one of my favorite holidays, because if it wouldn't have been for the terrorists, Christopher Columbus, and the Pilgrims coming to give all Native Americans infected blankets, alcohol, devil juice, and a lot, we wouldn't be able to eat turkey, macaroni and cheese, and greens. Think about this. If Christopher Columbus and the Pilgrims hadn't shown up, then my man Treyway Shotty wouldn't be in jail, and Tekashi 69 wouldn't be man.
Yo, he the hottest artist in the world, man.
All the Mexican gay blood bulls idea, man. Free Treyway, man. It wasn't a black guy.
Shout out to all
Treyway.
these people like my man Kyrie Irving out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just like to shout y'all out on this hell day. And I said, Jones.
Yeah, I saw an article that said Kyrie, he not celebrating Thanksgiving because he got some Native American in him.
But
funny
Kyrie
part is,
funny,
if
though,
you about that life, you about that cause, then don't celebrate anyway. Not just because you got like .003 Native American in you, Kyrie. Come on, man.
How are you gonna
Earth
be like that
flat.
and you love white girls?
Hold up, yo. Yeah, he let his grandmother down. Because supposedly his grandmother was actually, sued. Like, so he supposedly got, like, at least a quarter, I guess I don't know how to break
like
that down.
Quarter.
Their grandparent is in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess their parents make up 2, which gives you, 4 right there. But, you know what I'm saying? You do the math. Anyway, I don't know today's mathematics. But all I'm saying
Jimmy sound like a Wu-Tang album or something.
Yeah,
he just broke down the mathematics for you.
I don't know like what percentage at that point because it's early in the morning and I ain't fully
you
woke up. Yeah, hold up though.
Coming to get my culture cipher, go.
Yo, all I'm saying is this though: when they asked him the question, he could have said like, "I don't celebrate," or no response. But Kyrie, being Kyrie, was like, "Yo, F Thanksgiving," but he didn't say the word F. He said the full word like. Just to make it an article, like he made a headline spot. He could have said, "No, I'm cool," but
he said, "No, I'm not celebrating." But the Earth is no longer flat, and I apologize to y'all for saying that. Fucking apologize.
So basically, Jimmy, your man Kyrie is just as drawn as LeBron, and he wanted the opportunity to be drawn in the media.
Yeah, you see it with every athlete. I think Kyrie Irving's getting older. Like when athletes hit a certain age, and I guess it's happening sooner now because the NBA seems to be getting a little bit younger.
Right.
They just stop caring. Cats just stop caring though.
Yeah, you gotta go through your draw phase. Plus Kobe was one of his old heads in the league. So a lot of people who looked up to him, taking cues from him, Kevin Durant. Like you just come to a point in your career where you're just cursing the media, you just ornery for no reason.
Yeah. Kobe cut him off. So Kobe got him a new boo on the same team. He's like, I'm done with you, Kyrie. I'm this new sheriff in town, and then they Reggie Hammond.
Speaking of Kevin Durant, man, did y'all hear about him getting fined $25,000 for I forgot the term they used, but I'll say colorful language used towards a fan. Kevin Durant, we always talk about, how sensitive a dude he has either become or he always was. So he walks up to a fan at the baseline and basically tells him, like, yo, you need to just watch the effing game and shut the F up. And you can hear the fans over there go crazy. They're like, oh, my God, he's going to talk to me like that? I'm like, all right, y'all calm down because y'all been cursing that dude all day.
That was the funny thing. I saw so that was the funniest thing because they was giving Kevin Durant the business the whole game, but then he came over there and cussed him out. And then they act like he peed on him or something. Oh, my God, I can't believe he just said that. I'm like, yo. Their words, for one, but for two.
They're supposed to be in check. They're not supposed to say anything back.
Because the national media.
Was it privileged people?
Sounded like it. You didn't see a photo of him.
I heard the voices, and I could tell you as someone who's a voice expert from watching a lot of Law and Order, they sounded like colonizers to me. But here's the thing: the national media creates this narrative about Kevin Durant like being sensitive and caring what people think, and I take everything the national media says with a grain of salt. But he keeps proving them to be right. Because
I was about to say, I perpetuate the. I definitely drag it on.
You're out there playing a game of amusement, getting paid millions and millions of money, and you care that much to take time out of your game to come over there and try to check somebody for what? Like, really? You laugh to the bank, B. Like, you won in life.
For me, it's not the most sensitive thing he's ever done.
Not at all. Not by far.
Right, yeah. I'm more... I clown him more for the stuff that he does on social media and all that kind of stuff because I'm not going to sit here.
My man had a burner account. He had a burner account taking up for himself.
Right, he was the original Colangelo. Like I was, I wasn't really mad about what he did the other day. Like I found their response back to him more appalling. Like, did you think it was just cool and nobody could say anything to you? I mean, he didn't slap you. Marcus Smart went up in the crowd in college and tried to jaw somebody. So there's a difference. There could be much worse.
Let's not talk about Ron Artest.
Yeah, and Steven Jackson.
Not to be confused with Metta World Peace because they two different people, but still.
Right. Yeah, it could be so much different. So yeah, that was a funny story. But $25,000, it's like, wow. The NBA, like, the punishments for cursing at a fan is worse than throwing hands or spitting on people in an actual game on national television. I'm pretty, like, their fines during that was more so, it depended on what they made, but it just seemed like they're more upset about alienating their fans than the players actually beating each other up.
And that's the thing. With the Mayo community, right? Like, he don't know who he was talking to. You can have a random person sitting there, looking like a random person. You know what I mean? I'm gonna use the term random person to not offend anyone. And the boy could have owned that whole building. You don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they're good for putting a phone call in on you. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, in that case, you always got to be leery of people who sit in courtside anyway. Just like the story that B. Austin always tells about Floyd and the way he was looking at us, because he was like, "Yo, why am I not the only young black dude down here? Like, who are these dudes?" And what social media empire did they start? Like,
he probably thought y'all was coke dealers and was like, yo, I want to know, like, I mean, what's up with them? Make sure they ain't about to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he looked nervous. I had to send my security over there.
He might have thought he owed y'all some bread. But
yeah.
anyway,
we was opioid dealers.
Dude could have been the like biggest sponsor of either Golden State or whatever set arena they were playing, and you just never know who you're talking to.
Right.
Especially these days, because like because a lot of these cats that got bread like that don't want you to know. So he probably been there, you know what I mean, with some molester 7:30 nights on, but he owned the whole building.
And shout out to Neil in the chat room for rocking with us this early. So happy Turkey Day to you. Set us all aside a plate and just let us know. We'll be there to get it. Yeah, man. So we know, on Turkey Day, that's always a big day in the NFL. So we got 3 games on tap. We still did we ever do the math on this? Because I know we talked about it before on some of our past shows. Like, how did the Lions get a annual Turkey Day game? Like, you kind of understand the Cowboys. That's America's team, yada, yada, yada. But how did the Lions get an annual game on Turkey Days? Because nobody else wanted to do it. They asked the Lions and the Browns, and the Lions said, we cool. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Y'all get it?
I figured it was like, we don't want to really ruin anything, so let's put up something that's not really ever going to ruin anything.
Well, and it's always the early game, too. So, people probably, the least amount of people probably watching this. So go ahead and let the Lions rock just so we can have somebody. But, like I said, 3 games on tap. And I'm pretty sure Gus Griffin is not up and not going to be calling in. So we also have his gambling picks for you guys who still want to lay a bet down on Thanksgiving or for this weekend's games. But we'll talk briefly about the 3 games. I know Jimmy he ain't got much to add to this. I don't know. You can throw a fake pick out there. B. Austin, the Bears and the Lions get it in the early game. I believe that starts at 12:30 Eastern time. I guess by that time people will be in snack mode, maybe appetizer mode, while people are cooking,
Lions and Tigers. Oh, my. I'll go with the Mitchell Trubisky gang, Bears, for $10, Alex Trebek.
It's a couple details about this game, though. Mitch Trubisky is not actually playing today. He has a shoulder injury that they don't – it doesn't sound like it's that serious. It just sounds like it's, a little bit of disrespect towards the Lions, like get him a rest over this game, and the next game won't be until the following Sunday, so he gets an extra little bit of time to rest that shoulder because the Bears are a surprising team this year. So I guess they're, starting to look a little bit long-term on the season. Chase Daniel, who has always been like a highly touted backup, but if you actually look at his stats, Chase Daniel hasn't thrown that many NFL passes. Like, he has like one game. He may have like one start in his NFL career. Maybe like 400 yards total in a backup role, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But for some reason, Chase Daniel was like highly sought after as a backup. So you think even with Chase Daniel at the helm, they can still go into Detroit and beat the Lions on Turkey Day?
Man, Khalil Mack going to sit on Matthew Stafford's head about 4 times. Give me the Bears. Yo, Chase Daniels makes a lot of money as a backup, to your point. He gets $8 to $9 million a year contracts to hold a clipboard.
What a time to be alive, yo.
I was about to say, is that still now, or is that just when he was with your dumb Eagles and they paid him all that money? I don't know what he gets now, but
yeah, he gets that bag.
Chase Daniel could show up at my aunt crib later. I wouldn't know who he was. Like that, and that's fire that he can make $9 million a year and still go to Target, so to speak.
You really wouldn't, because dude's like 5'10", so he would just fit in with everybody else.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one would know. You know what I mean? That's probably who KD cussed at. He didn't even know.
Chase Daniels.
The funny thing about the NFL is like it's so huge in America.
Chase Daniels only makes $7.5 million a season.
Not a huge difference.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
What you saying, Jim? The thing about the NFL as well?
No, I was just thinking about it because I know that the boy James Conner makes like $200,000, something stupid like that. The boy that replaced Le'Veon Bell. When you think about the fact that he out there getting concussed every week. It's funny that Chase Daniels is allowed to like make 15 times that just by doing nothing. But I was saying NFL is so huge in American culture that even me, I don't watch the games. But I still like know what's going on in the league because I spend a lot of time on IG and Twitter double tapping buns. So in the midst of doing that, you can't
and
help
you're on a
but
sports
to know
company,
like,
so you know it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, you can't help. You can't help what's going on.
Know some stuff.
Besides the fact
people
that
tell us
like,
stuff even when we don't want to know it. You know.
Yeah, true. So
we got reporters out there.
With all that being said, the Lions is like the Lions, right? But they playing at home in this game against the Bears, right?
Yeah,
and,
their annual.
And one would think that Mitchell Trubisky, seems to be coming into his own from what I understand. But I'm gonna take the Lions at home just because it's Thanksgiving and it's the Lions, and the Bears probably still got to get rid of a little bit of last whiff of the Jay Cutler curse. So that being said.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions as well, man. You got the backup stepping in. I mean, the Lions' run defense is terrible, and Chicago has two good running backs. But I don't know. Let me see if they can win without Mitchell Trubisky. Then I might have to go back up on my slander levels of him because I calmed down recently. He's been playing a little bit better, but if they go out here and win without you, then I'm gonna have to question you and your whole existence over again. All right, and then we got
because he's a strong arm bum.
No, I don't dislike him. It was just my analysis of him as the season was progressing early on. He showed flashes every once in a while, but he was erratic. His accuracy was non-existent in some parts. But like I said, and then he'll turn on some. I don't even know if it was a switch or it's just he's just so inconsistent. Sometimes he'll look great. Sometimes he'll look terrible. Like I watched him on several occasions just miss receivers. I'm not even talking about accuracy here. I'm not talking about throwing the ball. I'm talking about a dude running right past his face, wide open, and he just doesn't see him or doesn't throw it to him. So he had a lot of technical, errors in his game, but he's been getting better as the weeks progress. Plus, we're playing in this new uber passing NFL where everybody's stats make them look like Dan Marino. So he's had a few of those games where, he had 5-6 touchdown passes in a game. He'll be all right, but he got some issues that need to be worked out. In the NFC East showdown, actually, whoever wins this game walks away in first place this afternoon. You got the Washington professional football team going down to Texas to face off with the Dallas Cowboys. And is in a bad way right now. Alex Smith got Joe Theismann last week, and he's out for the season. Colt McCoy looked pretty decent in his stead, but we know how that is with backup quarterbacks. They come in during the game. They kind of scrap the game plan. It's not what the defense expected. They look okay. What they do have going for them, though, is Colt McCoy has been the backup quarterback in Washington for several years now. So, he may, and this is cliche, he may know the offense better than the starters who's been there over the past few years. But knowing the offense is like, how important is knowing the offense? Like can you play or not? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I think they can beat the Cowboys with Colt. That's actually the last team he beat in a start. It was the Dallas Cowboys.
Colt McCoy's arm is weaker than every gentleman on this show right now. Like he cannot throw the ball 40 yards. Period. But
One thing I noticed about him, though, B, he's not afraid to throw it 20, though. Shout out to Alex Smith. Good.
And that's their offense now, so it may not even matter. He can get away with being who's that old Jets quarterback with the weak arm, but he was kind of clutch.
Chad Pennington.
Yeah, he's a dumbed down Chad Pennington. But you're handing the ball off to Adrian Peterson, and Adrian Peterson has been balling, and you're throwing crossing routes, 10, 12 yards in front of you and screens. So, they can stick with the Alex Smith game plan, and Colt McCoy can operate it. I got the Deadskins in this.
You got all the away teams running up on Turkey Day, and
I got the Cowboys just because for one they're playing at home, for two losing your starting quarterback, like especially the way, because again I didn't see the game but I saw the pictures, yo. Oh my God. Alex Smith is said he may never come back. He's never coming back.
Well, they for some doctors said it was some difference in it, in comparing it to Joe Theismann, and they think that he'll be fine. But I mean, Alex Smith's not a spring chicken anyway.
How, Craig?
Like, do you want to come back after that?
Anyway, dog. 2018, like he can get like shot in his forehead, and they'd be like, he'll be back in 2 weeks. He'd be like, huh? Yo, medicine is crazy, bro. Cat used to sprain an ankle and be like, career be over. But anyway, and besides the fact that Adrian Peterson can't prosper because he's still out here beating his kids with sticks and chains and stuff. So, why did he even answer that question?
I was about to say, my problem is, why are you still talking about it? Like, why is he talking about it?
And be also,
you're going to beat your kids, but you done already got in trouble for it. Why are you talking about it?
He got in trouble for it before they asked him, and he said, I still beat him that way. Like, why?
I beat my kid with a belt the other day.
Oh.
That's your kid, but you know how they acted these days. So why are you talking about it publicly?
My biggest question is, what is wrong with your kid that he still, after all this, is like still doing things to get beat? Like, what's going on in your crib, dog?
I know. I mean, he talked about it in the article, talking about how it's amazing how his kids don't flinch when an NFL football player is beating them with a belt. So maybe he done beat the feeling out of him or something. You know how in comparison, Jim, like a mass shooting will happen and everybody will just move on with their day because it's status quo now. That's how his kids are now. Right? Belts, I guess.
Here's my question. So it's years later and you still like beating him like a runaway slave. And the fact of the matter is you have to beat him like a runaway slave, which means the beatings aren't working, dog. Like, they're not working. It's time to find another approach because obviously that's not working.
Listen, they're gonna come protect that one. There's one particular kid they're gonna protect.
You're gonna start pistol whipping this kid.
That's the one. That's his firstborn who he did that with a mayonnaise lady, and so she. Oh no, that's the one that passed away. I'm tripping.
No.
He beat all the kids. Yo, come on, man.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
Jimmy asked if he killed him with a Gucci belt. Come on, man.
Yo, I mean, you out here like using sticks and belts and chains and knives and stuff. Like, come on, cuz.
Yeah.
All right, man. Anyway, I got the Cowboys in this game. How the hell? I got the Cowboys in this game. For them, this would be what, like 4 straight? So you know how they're going to start talking. The crazy part about it is if the Cowboys do win, they'll have the division lead via the tiebreaker, and B. Austin's bum-ass Philadelphia Eagles will still be a stone's throw from winning the division if they can win the rest of their divisional games. They still got a game against the Cowboys. They got a game this week against the Giants, 2 games against Washington. So it's like, even though they out here getting consumer you-know-what-it on national TV, shout out to the Saints, they still have a chance in this god-awful division to win it.
Yo,
Cowboys fans not going to try to hear that, though, because they looking at the momentum.
They haven't played the Redskins yet this season, so that means
not yet. So you got 2 against them.
Just the luck of the draw, they end up getting the Redskins when the Redskins don't have their starting quarterback. That's crazy.
Right.
So
they've been getting
came down to
pummeled
that
all season, and then it might come down.
What if it came down to that? That would be crazy for one.
And it could
For
possibly
two,
because they play them the second time on the last day of the season. So it could,
that's
like
crazy.
literally, like Jimmy said, come down.
That's crazy.
All right, but hey, I guess go Cowboys. I mean, there's no reason for the Eagles to make the playoffs this year because, as I tried to tell some fellow Eagle fans who wouldn't listen to me, they are not on the Rams level. They are not on the Saints level. Hard lesson learned last week for some who were still believing the Super Bowl hype. Like, look, man, Super Bowl is done. I'm still celebrating. There's really nothing that can happen this season that can really, really upset me. It's frustrating to see them getting pummeled like that, but I'm over it much quicker than if I had any real cares and expectations. Last game of the day, the Saints get to try to do it again on a division rival. The Falcons play the Saints in the Thursday night game. Not much for me to say here. I'm going to go with the Saints. They've won like 8-9 games in a row. They've won them in convincing fashion. They just, as Jimmy said when we were talking about it offline, they sent a message to the defending champs. I don't see how anybody would expect the Falcons to go into the Dome and do anything different. I mean, they're going to put up a better fight, but yeah.
The Falcons are presently trying to cover 3 receivers with 1 defensive back. My man Desmond Trufant got to cover 3 people because everybody else in the secondary is hurt. Their defense is trash. They have to score 50 every time out. So Matt Ryan's having a good season. Calvin Ridley's balling. Their running back is cool. Offensively, they're actually a very good team, but they give up 60 points every game. So, yeah, I got the Saints. I got Drew Brees throwing for 700, 6 touchdowns, and that'll be there.
Who did the Saints lose to this season?
Themselves. They lost to themselves.
Some very lucky bunch. I don't know. I'm gonna check it out.
I was wondering who they lost to. Like, you know, and I it's probably like the way they're playing because I know that over the last couple
they had
weeks,
they had a shootout with the Rams, almost like the one we saw with the Rams and Chiefs the other night. It's crazy though because when teams of that caliber get together, like their defenses have nothing to do with it. And that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the way the NFL loves it. It's the fixes in the defense is out the window. Y'all just there to get plays made on y'all at this point.
Yeah, they lost to the Fitzmagic 48-40.
Yo.
But you know what? That was week 1 of the season, I believe. Yeah, it was week 1. And they haven't lost since.
Tampa beat the Saints and the Eagles?
Remember Tampa started out hot. And the Fitzmagic was all over the place, and then, you know, what usually happens.
Fitzmagic threw for 4 or 5 touchdowns that game. He was on his own.
Right. And the Saints, they were killing the Saints, and then the Saints tried to make a comeback late. It fell short, and then the Saints haven't lost a game since, and they've actually scored 40 in a game. They scored 40 in that loss. They scored 40 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and one of those times was 50 against the Bengals, 51. Their last few games, 48-7 over the Eagles, 51-14 over the Bengals, 45-35 over the Rams, who I thought was the best team in the league coming into this.
Great show on turf type stuff, man. It's just unfortunate Dez didn't get to participate with any of that.
Yeah, Dez was looking forward to that too. He was about to get his ring.
I mean, B. Austin doesn't believe it, but I think Dez would have put up buckets on everybody playing with Drew Brees.
Yo, crosses and buckies.
Yeah,
all right, so I got the Saints.
Out there with,
everybody else got the Saints too.
Yeah.
They're gonna eat Falcons instead of turkey for the holiday.
Defense does not matter because the Saints' defense ain't really ish either, but it don't matter. They got Drew Brees.
That's the crazy part, though. That's why I feared them last year because last year was the greatest mixture of offense and defense that I'd seen from that team in a long time. The defense was like, look, man, I guess they probably told him after the season, we only was gonna show up for this 1 year. So y'all ain't get it done. That's on y'all. Yeah. And then they didn't show up for that last play against the Vikings. And they went back to being the Saints.
Back into Kenny Vaccaro. Manti Te'o has a new girlfriend. They ain't ish this year, man.
All right, so let me get to Gus's picks real quick. And Gus's segment, even though Gus is not with us, that didn't sound right. Gus is still alive. It's just early. We're recording mad early.
Unless you owe somebody some gambling bread.
It's brought to you by
the Brooklyn basement.
Brought to you by MyBookie. Shout out to Big. Real quick before we give his picks, let's talk about how much money you guys can make betting on sports at MyBookie. Shout out to the locks too. Jimmy showed me a video the other day, B. Oh, you saw that?
I saw the banner, and they the locks.
Yeah, so this is credible. The locks be flying the banner for MyBookie. Just when you watch it on the locks video and you copy down the site, just put in promo code War Room. Locks not gonna like that. But no, if y'all haven't checked out MyBookie, look, man, just go ahead and do that. It's Turkey Day. Lay down some bets on these games. If you're playing with other services and when it's time to pay you, you're getting the runaround. That's why we need you to go check out MyBookie, and that's not mybookie.com, not mybookie.net. It's mybookie.ag. When you win, they pay you. No hassles. You're wasting your time betting anywhere else. Just join right now, and MyBookie will match your first deposit with 100% bonus. 100%. Just use the promo code War Room, all caps, WARROOM for the spelling impaired. That'll activate the offer for you. Just visit mybookie.ag today, play, win, and get paid. All right, so Gus last week was 3-2 for the season. He is 28-24-2. He's hitting at a much better clip than he was at this point last season. I think last season he had to have like an incredible last 2 weeks just to get back to 500. So he's chugging along right now. So go to mybookie.ag and make these picks I'm about to give you. He's taking Washington +7 versus the Cowboys. He is taking the over-under on the Saints-Vikings is 60. He is taking the over, and if you've watched the Saints play any point this season, you'd be the smart one to take the over as well. And I said Vikings. That's Saints-Falcons. I'm sorry. The Falcons should be good to score about 20. The Saints will score over 40, so you should be good on that one. He's taking the Panthers -3 versus Seattle, and the over-under on the Colts-Dolphins game is 51, and he's going to take the over on that. It seems like Gus takes the over all the time, and that's another, that's just giving you a picture of today's NFL. Jimmy and I always talk about New Earth. You got new football on New Earth, where, you can take, it doesn't even have to be teams of this caliber. You could take the Browns and the Bengals and take a over 50, and you'll probably hit. That's how crazy it is right now. Just don't take the Eagles, because they only scoring 22 points a game, and since they put up 7, it's less than that now. So take them on.
Who decided to put the Dolphins and the Colts on Thanksgiving?
No, that's not a Turkey Day game. This is just picks for the week. So yeah, that's shit. And your man is killing it again. I don't know where Tobias is because he's been real quiet about that lately. He be killing Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is frying people out there. I don't hear nothing from Tobias. Where you at? Wake up. Call in.
He is.
But the thing is,
Tobias spent the evening
he's always balling.
He hasn't woke up yet.
Even the last season he played. I guess people feel like when the Colts aren't winning, then it don't matter if he's balling or they're going to act like he's not. But the last season he played was probably his best season statistically. It's like people just forget that and then he was hurt for the year, so out of sight, out of mind. A lot of people didn't want him to be what he is anyway. You know how when you get too much hype, people don't want to see that. Shout out to Bron, who lived up to all of it. even though B. Austin didn't want him to. All right. So that's Gus Griffin's picks. Make sure y'all go out to mybookie.ag, promo code The War Room. Go win you some money, and then thank us later. All right, so what else is going on in the world of sports, man? Jimmy's Lakers are plodding along. They're playing okay as of late, but the schedule's been kind of favorable. LeBron went back to Cleveland last night. I was listening to the announcers of that game, and I think they were feeling that the welcome and the ovation that LeBron got was a little bit overwhelming for what they thought it should have been. I think they pretty much thought everybody should have took out their LeBrondos and, right there in the stands just had a cool-off party. Think about that for a minute. Y'all will get it. But, yeah, I mean, he went back, had his normal LeBron-type game, but the Lakers kind of struggled in that contest. So, Jim, what were your thoughts on the game, for one? And did you think the Cleveland fans gave LeBron the type of ovation, the type of welcome that he deserved after everything he's done for that team and that city?
I don't know what you expect. Like, if he announced that it's his
people
last
to drop
season,
out crying, fall out of the stands.
Like,
crying.
if he announced that it's his last season and then he makes like a trip there, then I think it'll be like much more. But I mean, my man still got like years left in the tank, and I mean, it is what it is. Like,
and bottom line, he played for somebody else.
Yeah, pretty much. So I mean, that's ridiculous. But in terms of the game, I found the game interesting because Cleveland is so ass. Like, it's weird, like, watching them play a game in which they're being competitive, and like the announcers, the cats at halftime, like even people in the group chat, like no one believed for 1 second that Cleveland was going to win the game. Like, they're so bad. Yo, they're so bad. And it's funny because I remember Tristan Thompson talking about they were the team to beat in the East. My man,
everybody on their schedule obliged after he said that. Okay.
Yo, K-Lo,
y'all the team to beat, and we're gonna beat y'all.
Yo, K-Love was like, K-Love was like, I don't need to be seeing this, so I'm just gonna chill for a minute. And not even deal with it. Like,
check. Tristan Thompson wrote a check that nobody on that roster can cash, and J.R. Smith is acting.
Yo, J.R. Smith is out. They are so bad, and it's one of those things where Cleveland was only relevant because of LeBron. Everybody knows LeBron. Like, he travels as an army, but at the same time, like, I was thinking about the fact that Cleveland before LeBron was ass. Like, Cleveland's been ass since Mark Price and Brad Daugherty. Like, so
Craig Elo.
I don't think Jimmy was talking about the Cavs. I think he was talking about the city in general too. Like, no, as a sports town, like, that was their first championship in 56 years. So that's why I think the announcers was just expecting everybody to just jump down on their knees because it's been 56 years, and then LeBron and his gang brought that back to you.
They've been asked since Ernest Biner's afro.
Shout out to Dayton and Youngstown, man, getting in Ohio. But all I'm saying is that man, listen, Cleveland is so bad. But in terms of the Lakers, what I find interesting is Willie G came with these in our group chat came with this theory that I don't know where he got it from, but he said his sources telling him that there's a possible trade on the table for Kemba Walker with Alonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram coming from the Lakers, and the Lakers getting Kemba Walker. And maybe because he said that before the game, but I start like hearing things different during the game. Like I remember specifically said
he heard that from another one of his group chats, and somebody was like,
yeah, he heard that. He heard that from his shadow.
What's funny is that's how media works in 2018 though. Like, shout out to our brother Hank. Man, Hank be in the lab making up trades with the salaries and everything, and stuff be starting.
Yo, Hank is a straight up GM. Like, I'm talking about.
Hank.
He be getting the salaries to match, and
Hank is a group chat GM. But what's interesting though is that stuff starts out as like somebody tweaks it out, and then like stuff catches legs based upon a rumor, and it actually people be speaking stuff into existence. Not that I want that trade to happen because it's kind of weird. I think Lonzo Ball can play. He gonna be a baller, man. Like, no pun intended, but he's gonna be a baller. Brandon Ingram is still operating out there off potential. I've never seen a player in my life been mentioned with the word potential since like I've seen him play at the beginning of his career in college. Like
Yo,
his potential.
They've been talking about his potential since he took that photo with Chris Paul.
Yo,
that was a long time ago.
Like, what's up with this bro? At what point does it stop being about your potential though? Is he gonna be like 38 in the league? They're like, he still has potential to. Like, at what point does it stop being about that? I don't know that answer.
Yo, he's like Tim Thomas to the 60th degree.
Yo,
potential man.
Always about his potential. But during the game, like Doris Burke mentioned that the two players having trouble playing with LeBron the most are Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram. I'm like, hold up, was Willie G on to something?
I know, right? You throw that out. You know, they got to throw that report out there before they get traded. Before they get dealt. So I heard that. But it's just interesting watching Tyson Chandler and how a guy who most wouldn't consider to be like, an elite player makes a difference on the team. And what I noticed is by him being they're like
on the
6-1 since Bull joined the team.
Yeah, so I like granted the schedule
because he tap out rebounds.
Different.
Like, got it.
But they had a tough schedule in the beginning of the season. But now, but he taps out rebounds, but he also makes it so they have two legit centers. No, but hold on though. Before it's deeper than that though, because of his size, Paul. Like, before he got there, every time JaVale went out the game, the Lakers be playing like complete small ball with like LeBron or Ingram or somebody at center.
Now JaVale leaves and JaVale comes back in. Like, they the same ball.
Yeah. So that allows them to pretty much not have to play small ball as much, but it's made a completely shift in the team. Where
they have Kuz at center, and that don't work.
Yeah, it don't work.
At all.
That's kind of what they were doing. So now that it actually made a difference, but that just goes to show you that basketball is a lot more than just the star players. It is a team sport. Although the stars probably carry more weight than most other sports.
The crazy part about the trade rumor, Jim, is we're talking about dudes getting dealt because they can't play with LeBron. Yo, if you ask me, real talk, this is not even a joke. If you asked me before all of these rumors, if you just threw some random question out there and said like, yo, who in the NBA would you feel would be the worst fit to play with LeBron, I legit would have probably said Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker has never made a shot in his life that wasn't off his own dribble.
That's true.
If LeBron, because I don't know what happened to all of this, LeBron wants to play off the ball in his next stop, because every time I watch the Lakers, LeBron is bringing the ball down the court.
Old habits die hard, cuz.
Yo, Kemba Walker dribbles. Now, we have analytics nerds for this, so somebody, if y'all listening, check me out on this. But this is me just talking off the cuff. I'm making this up, but I believe it. Kemba Walker has to be the person who dribbles the most in the NBA. You know how they be counting dribbles and say Clay never dribbles? Kemba has to dribble the most in the NBA. He has to.
He dribbles too much.
Right. Kemba, like, he would be a player that you say, yo, you dribble too much. Like, my son likes Kemba Walker, and I'm like, yo, like, I want him to take certain things from Kemba Walker. The fact that he's smaller than everybody else and he don't give no Fs. Like, I want you to have that in you. I want you to take it. You know, I want you to, go in there with the trees and, do your thing. What I don't want you to take, I don't want you dribbling for 24 seconds every single play before you decide to even make your move, shoot, or pass.
Even
I'm like, if people not gonna like to play with you in that case.
Even more than that, what you definitely don't want him to take is Kemba Walker's haircut, because Kemba Walker might have the worst haircut I've ever seen.
We're not letting that happen. We done talk way too much about everybody's cuts throughout the years for me to let my son. His cut will never be busted. He'll either be wolfing or have a nice cut, but it ain't gonna be a cut that's busted.
Yo,
you can't do that.
Kemba might have the worst haircut in sports.
Kemba Walker goes in the barbershop and says, "Please, don't shake me up. Just take it down and let God take."
No, it's worse than that. He has patches in his hair to the point where I'm thinking about stop clowning his haircut, because it might be something medically wrong, because there's no way that you looked in the mirror and was like, yo, this is sharp. Like, he got like patches in like his head, like, yo, whatever opposite of a fade is, that's what he got.
Yo, Kemba be getting faded by. Never mind. But Yo, Kimba.
Yeah,
you're right. That's the part.
I caught that.
That's the part that we can't. You know, you see where Kimba lives too, right? Even though, well, you know, yeah. But anyway, man. Yeah, Kimba and LeBron. That just doesn't seem like a great match to me. But shout out to LeBron for last night. He went back into Cleveland. What was it? 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Just a usual Bron game.
It's funny, right? Because Bron has reached that level. Yo, and by the way, I think Kemba Walker should be fined $25,000 every game he comes out.
I'm sorry.
A cut. But
I know 14 rebounds. I'm my bad, Bron.
Bron has reached a level.
Maverick just texted me like, "Yo, don't be short, my man. It's 3 rebounds."
Bron puts up numbers now. Bron has reached a level. He puts up numbers that are ridiculous, and like no one even cares. Like when people
he seemed like he having an average season to me, but
yeah,
he like
when people
lead the league in scoring.
Had to go off. Bron scored 50 the other night, and it didn't even lead SportsCenter. It was like, oh, Bron scored 50. So what?
Yeah. Tell me, and he passed Allen Iverson for 50-point games, and like I mean that's a tribute to how good the dude is, man. Like everything he does now, we expect it, even in year 16. But no, speaking of Kimba has been on a tear lately. Of course, he waits till we're about to talk about it to put up a 16-point stinker. And I wouldn't even call it a stinker. He only played 27 minutes last night. He's probably tired. He had 16. He only shot 5 for 10. So, he still shot 50% in that game. Because it was like an easy win. They blew the Pacers out. So he only had to put up 16 points. He had 11 assists, which you're not used to seeing from Kimba. But in the two previous games,
healthy for this trade.
Right. And speaking of that, before I even talk about the game, speaking of that, Kimba said publicly last week that he was going to re-sign with Charlotte when it came up at the end of the season.
Why?
Because Kimba gets to be Kimba. Kimba ain't trying to. Kimba don't care about no winning. Kimba. Seriously.
Kimba said, look,
did you think
they can pay more than anybody?
Do you think Kimba we would be talking about Kimba Walker like this anywhere else but a team like Charlotte? Like I can clearly see why he want to stay there. I get a max. I'm the franchise's all-time leading scorer. Like Kimba, I think he's comfortably in his little nook. Like, don't nobody care about winning, man. I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna get these accolades that nobody thought I was gonna get when I entered the league. So.
Yo, my man said I didn't need enough money to go buy me one of the big championship rings.
Shout out to Othniel Alpha.
To the Hall of Fame.
Man, be always on here naming names. Yeah. So the previous 2 games, he put up 60 and 43. You guys want to do that math? That's 103 points in 2 games. The 60 was against our Philadelphia 76ers. He was lighting Jimmy Butler on fire, but Jimmy Butler showed you why he's the dog he is, and after getting 60, still made the 2 most important plays of the game, coming down and blocking a Kemba Walker shot. Not some chase from behind block. He was guarding Kemba straight up and stayed with him, blocked his shot, came down the other end, hit the game-winning 3 after getting, much of 60 points poured on his head, his hair, whatever that is on the top of his head, for all of the game. But 103 points in 2 games from a dude that's listed at 6'1". He's probably 5'11", 6 foot at the most. Like, what is it? Like, why does Kemba Walker get off the way that he does in the NBA? Is it because he doesn't pass and he's going to dribble you down until he get a shot?
Look, Kemba definitely is a clip, but he's very fast, and he got a lot better, too, with his craftiness, because Kemba does go to the rack, and he's very crafty and shifty with the way that he gets the rock off, because I'm watching him play, and I'm like, there's no way you should get that amount of shots off. And he got a lot of Steve Francis in his handle.
what I think.
But he also has a lot of like, and I hate to
Hands
give
that
props
make
that he was
you
good. He was good at it, to me at least. Was Steve Nash in terms of being crafty with like going to the basket, like in the middle of his drive, he'll let the ball go when he's not supposed to. Like just small things that you do to get your shot off as a smaller player.
Right.
And in comparison, I was watching like a Duke game last night, and that's kind of like what you watch Barrett play. Like he doesn't get that yet. He's like full steam ahead, and there's nothing crafty about his drives to the basket. Like, and I guess he'll learn that in time. But watching Kemba play over the years, he's gotten a lot better at that. So everything's not a pull-up jump shot or a jump shot, but when that's falling, it opens the door for everything else. And he has
nothing you can really do about it.
I could tell that he's like studied Steve Nash because he's got that shiftiness down pat. You know,
that's a nice comparison.
And then, you know what? As much as I'm not gonna say we crap on him. We just say some of the stuff that he got, he probably didn't deserve. So as much as we tell the truth about Steve Nash is a great study for smaller, guards coming in, or not even coming into the league, but just smaller guards. Period. Like Steve Nash would be a great person for me to have my son watch as well. Because of the stuff that Jimmy said, he's crafty enough to where he wasn't the fastest, wasn't the quickest dude, but he had the tricks of the trade to get space, to get enough space to get a shot off, to get a pass off, to basically kill you when his athleticism said, it had no messages of murder embedded in it whatsoever, and he still went out there and murdered people.
The greats do that. And not to like make it about like the Mayo tribe, but like when you watch Larry Bird play, it was the same way. He was so crafty that he wasn't the fastest. He couldn't jump. He played with a bad back, but he was like so crafty that he
couldn't jump.
Did whatever he wanted to.
Larry Bird couldn't jump over a nickel and would still give you a double nickel. Like you're absolutely right. With Steve Nash, we watched him play his entire career, coming out of the Dallas Mavericks organization, Phoenix and whatever, and ended on your Lakers. I in a vacuum, just analyzing Steve Nash, he was great. And I'm the first to say I think that he's overrated, but I still think that he's an all-time
also
great.
Also an overachiever.
No,
too.
And it's possible to be both. People act like you
possibly be both.
And I honestly can admit that I hate on the board just because I feel like he took Kobe and Shaq. He took an MVP from both Kobe and Shaq.
He took MVP from both of them.
So I'm literally hating on him for that reason. But at the same time, though, like I got to give credit where credit is due. And when I watch Kemba play now, I see that like either he studied it or
Kemba's a way better athlete.
He's gotten better at that.
I think Steph studied him. Steph reminds me of a little bit more athletic version of Steve Nash.
Absolutely, Steph studied him because Steph has that too, that shiftiness where it's not about being the fastest guy, but when you do things like sort of like off balance, so to speak, where no one's expecting you to shoot from this angle, or when you're driving to shoot this quick, or to shoot like not as quick. It's like it's like a boxer. Who's good with a jab, but he's good with using it. Yeah, keeping you off balance was like just the way you do it. So now you have no idea where it's coming from. And Kemba was good at that, specifically in that Sixers game where he was going down amongst the trees and like getting off shots. And I'm like, yo, my man is like 2'7", and he's like going at Embiid's chest. But Embiid doesn't know when to make a move because he's being so crafty with it. He was like, he's doing his thing. So salute to him for working on this game. But
point, Dev, your man Steph worked out. He worked out and trained with Steve Nash.
Okay, well, there you go. And for everybody out there who's having trouble understanding how somebody could be an overachiever and overrated at the same time, it's really a very easy concept to grasp because y'all are really the reason that it's a possibility, because as soon as a player overachieves, y'all start to overrate his ass. So, if you want to know the meaning to that, look within. Because it's the masses that do that. As soon as somebody is better than they're supposed to be, then we shouting that they're better than they really are. So, well, we as in y'all.
Shout out to Jason Tatum.
No doubt. You want to crown him, then crown him.
Yo, speaking of Jason Tatum, though, because, like, this whole
he
thing...
still have a game once a week where he scores 6 points, but he the best small forward in the East.
somebody remember the boy told us on our page that he's better than Giannis?
Yeah. No, yeah. He said he's gonna be he's the best small forward in the East. I'm like, okay, I guess Giannis don't play in the East no more. Guess Kawhi didn't just get traded to the East. Jimmy Butler came, bumped him down another notch. Like, I don't even know if he's fourth, but that's the thing. He overachieved in the playoffs, and y'all overrating his ass already. So
I think I was more offended by the boy specifically saying that he's better than Giannis. I think I was very offended by that because in the way I watch basketball, from what I see watching basketball,
like LeBron might not be better than Giannis right now.
That's exactly my point. For me watching basketball, Giannis might be better than everybody, and that's excluding nobody.
What are y'all talking about?
I mean, look what he embodies. I mean, that's excluding nobody.
Shout out to Neil in the chat room. She said, "I didn't know who Kemba Walker was until today." So,
Damn.
that's what we do. We bring knowledge to the people, man. We bring knowledge to the people. That's how it works,
though. Listen, after the past week, when you do that, that's when Kemba gets a big contract. Be awesome. To answer your point, if Kemba signs back with Charlotte, that shows you what he's about because he's going to play his little heart out. He's going to put up his points. He's going to end up in the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be independently wealthy for generations because he'll get a max deal where I can't. It's sort of like the Isaiah Thomas thing, right? Where he was in a position where if he would have stayed there, he'd have got a max deal. But once he got out in the market, then people realized like, oh, that's what it is.
All that's all good, but is he gonna hire a barber though?
He needed to shave it off, like.
Look, like House Party. Look who just fell into the gig. Look who's up early as hell on the West Coast to kick it with us, man. We got Tobias on the line, man. Roll damn Tide. Happy Turkey Day to you and good morning.
Stay woke, fellas.
With it.
Stay woke.
I'm always I'm always up in the morning going to the gym if I go to work anyway. So
military man.
Yes, I'm up anyway. Stay woke, fellas. Don't be eating those. Hey, please eat those plantation platters. Don't let these folks try to, Hey, especially after I went to that sunken place wedding this past weekend. But man, those brothers chasing white women like Wile E. Coyote was chasing a road runner. But
yeah, Tobias, wake up on one.
You said the NFL draft or no?
Nah, yeah. Hey, there was like
Kyrie Irving boat cruise.
Kyrie Irving boat party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, a lot of women were average like those women on that boat party also.
That's how it usually is.
Here's the thing. Like, I heard y'all talking about LeBron earlier. Now I see some of those clips on those sports shows at work, and LeBron was talking about when they traded Kyrie. That was the beginning of the end. My thing was, dude, you was out anyway.
Brian don't care about that, man. Brian, like, look, while I'm here, you need to be happy about being here. Don't worry about what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and there's no knock on him to leave.
Let's go out here and get this runner-up trophy every year. Come on, man.
Yeah, and there's no knock on him. He wants to leave because, hell, not too many people turn down L.A. for Cleveland. But Kyrie, hey, come on now. We know the history. You would have been left with all those guys who were built to play with LeBron. And when
I wouldn't turn down Largo, Maryland for Cleveland. My bad. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to take you. Hey, I'll stay in Alabama over Cleveland. But anyway, but see the thing with people, they talk, well, when he leaves, but those teams are built around LeBron with the spot up shooters. People like Tristan Thompson who can't do, who couldn't post up, our grandmothers, and they are predicated on doing what LeBron does, spot up shooting, get the rebounds, things like that. So once he's gone, there's no one else who can create anything. and a lot of times those teams are older. There's no knock against him. It's just that those teams build around their best player, what he does well. And that's probably the reason why many of these star players probably like, well, I'll try to win somewhere else. Because there's a lot that goes with it. I think people, like the media, don't want to bring up or never even look into.
You're right, Tobias, but at the same time, that when you think about like the game in general, like most star players have teams built around their strong suits. Like you need a certain type of person to play with Allen Iverson to have success, right?
I'm about to say, you didn't want to get that team after AI. You wouldn't have no
so
success.
you got exactly. So you need a certain kind of player to play with Magic. You need a certain kind of player to play in the triangle with Mike. Like every star player has to have a team built around them in the NBA. That's just what it is. And when they go, they go. I mean, that's part of the game. But I would, if I'm Cleveland, I'd trade as bad as we are now for that one championship. Because listen, man, like Dev said earlier, it was been 54 years. So you got that championship. So now, but now you have to pretty much start from scratch. But it still has to have been worth it to have that experience of getting that championship. But now you have no more. You can't blame him anymore. The boy said he wanted his team back. He got his team back. Now let's see what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I think it's like that with any star player, that you build a certain team around them to get them to work.
Yeah, and I think with this one, and part of it is I believe Dan Gilbert has a crazy ego. Dude, just say, hey, you got LeBron. He left. And what people don't want to get, dude spent 11 years there, right? That's a long time. He got a championship there. You got a Hall of Fame player like Malone, Stockton, Barkley, Reggie Miller, especially Reggie Miller and the dudes in Utah. They spent their whole careers there and never won a championship. Sometimes you may only get one title, but that's when you just tear it down. But here's the problem. Who the hell wants Tristan Thompson?
Yeah, no, you definitely put yourself in a predicament. Like we said, we used the AI example. It's the same thing. Like if the Sixers decided after, all right, we're gonna get rid of Allen Iverson, so now we got to break this team up. Who the hell want Tyrone Hill and George Lynch and Eric Snow? Like at that point in their career, I mean, Eric Snow did go on to play with Cleveland, but Matt Geiger just took his money and left. He's still getting it.
The Sixers just got good right now from the AI era. What you talking about?
Yeah, right. So it's like
it took them a decade to clean out.
That's real.
But Tobias, I didn't hear you mention anything about your man Fat Barry putting up that 20, 13 rebounds and 8 assists last night though. What's up with that?
Hey, it's Turkey Day. He got to eat, man. Hey,
he played good around Turkey Day.
Even the sun shines on dogs behind every now and then.
Hey, but hold on, Tobias. I gotta mention this though. Real quick.
Listen how efficient it was too. 6 for 10.
All your vitriol goes to Fat Barry now. I noticed you left Zach out of all your recent slander. You don't even bother Zach no more.
You can't say Zach an all-star this year. You can't say nothing about Zach. He earning that money.
Zach's an all-star this year. Hey, Zach's an all-star. Hey, he had to show me something.
And he had another 29 points last night. He had another 29 points on 50% shooting.
Tobias, it was brought to my attention by one Dev Mack that you be slandering Luck, Lady Luck, man. Won't do that around here.
I had a best of luck. I was really mad. I was really upset that Dev gonna start Fitzmagic over Luck 1 week. I was upset about that. I like dude,
I was trying to ride out the magic spells, man. You got to do what you got to do. At that point, I was still undefeated. I just took my first L this week.
By the way, I was watching that Duke game at work. That's what you call delegating. You got to watch the game. But here's the thing that people are missing on. These kids are blowing out Kentucky was the worst thing ever. Can we just be honest about this? John Calipari is probably one of the most coaches ever.
Hey, back to our lesson from 10 minutes ago. Because they overachieved. We all overrated.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you real quick because that's a bit of hyperbole. Like, especially considering I watched Duke play, and Barry tore his leg up in the first game. Like, the worst thing that could have happened to Duke was Zion flew over somebody and tore his ACL. So that's a bit of hyperbole.
That's the worst thing. Blowing out the number one team in the country can't be the worst thing that plays.
But it's like unrealistic expectations. Yeah. It's an unrealistic expectations. And
I think they had them anyway because all you heard prior to the season was, Duke starting 5 and the Fab 5 and this and that. So the expectations were crazy. But you're right, like trashing Kentucky instead of trashing like a Norfolk State. It just made it worse.
Or Alabama basketball. But
shout out to Slavery
and
Johnson.
Yeah, and they got who looks like a real life Ninja Turtle, but that's a whole different show. But the thing is that they gotta remember these kids are 18. They just learning how to play at that level because it's probably the best coaching these kids are receiving too. You see the talent there, but you gotta remember. People gotta remember these kids are great, but it's still a single elimination tournament. You have one bad day, and you know the college refs call anything. If you cough on somebody, it's a foul. And so you get a bad foul trouble, you get an injury, or the other team just gets hot for 3 in the tournament, it's still single elimination. And it's not a failure probably for them it is. But we got to bring this up also. John Calipari is probably the most overrated coach in the country. He gets the best players every year, and when he be getting put out before the third weekend. He can't even get to the Final Four half the time. But
That's
he
true.
gets these top recruiter classes. He is so
I wouldn't
overrated.
defend that because I would defend him as a recruiter, not as a coach.
Yeah, he's not a coach.
He ain't overrated as a recruiter, but as a coach, yeah, maybe.
All right. I mean, but it's a couple things, right?
But
it's a couple things.
It's also
right?
difficult. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Shout out to the Japanese boy last night who was giving that Duke all kinds of work. But
Hachimura.
I don't even.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever his name is, Oxymoron, whatever his name is. But he was giving Duke all kinds of work.
One of his parents black.
Yeah,
his daddy black was in the military. We know what it is, but go ahead.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
that's
somebody was stationed in Japan.
Oh, that's
stayed
what
around.
it is. All right, so B. Austin, I don't know if you know, but his brother that plays for Gonzaga, he's like a black and Japanese guy, and he was giving. He the greatest. Yo. He's already the greatest Japanese caliber Asian player ever after this one game I saw.
Shout out to Jeremy Lin.
But here's the fact of the matter, though. I always look at the comparison to the Fab Five, and I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I don't know what the expectations were. This team, the Fab Five had 9 losses in their first year, like literally had 9 losses. I doubt this team will get 9 losses. And then the very next season, when they went to the chip, they had like 4 or 5 losses. So I don't think that anybody thought they would go undefeated. And it's probably better to get your loss this early in the season because now Coach K really gets to get in his coaching bag and, like you said, teach these guys something because they made.
And even though I don't want to sound like the old dude and talk about errors, but I also think the Fab Five played in a much tougher era of basketball. And I'm not saying This is not a players were better back then. This was players had to go to school longer, so dudes were better. You know what I'm saying?
They were wrong up.
I mean, and that might be why Duke is, they were I'm about to mess up a word, susceptible to a team like Gonzaga because Gonzaga's not usually the team that got a bunch of one and dones. I mean, their damn point guard was a 5th-year senior, for Christ's sake. So it's like those are the type of teams that they might get in some trouble with, just dudes who can maybe outthink them on the court while they jumping out the gym.
Even if we adjust for inflation, they probably should still lose about 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that, and Tobias put another great point too.
Might lose 3.
Tobias put another great point too. That that's the beauty of March Madness, right? So anybody can beat anybody in one given night. Like, we've seen that on the playground. You might have a team that just runs people off the court, and then you find somebody that just like has one smart player and controls the pace of the game, and you lose on the playground. Like it's happened. Hoops is hoops. That's the beauty of hoops.
Hey,
and the beauty
my
of
motto
Madness
always is get it over with now before you get into that tournament, and you can't lose.
Exactly. So I think, but I also think that it gives Coach K a chance to like. When you're beating everybody by 40 and 50 points, like what is your coach really going to do? Like you're like, Coach, shut up. We just beat them by 60. Like, but when you get a tough game like that against a smart team, it gives Coach K a chance to get in his bag and kind of teach. So
and you get to see how they react to adversity. And I don't think it was a bad reaction because as much as they were down the whole night, they still almost won the game, even though Gonzaga tried to give it to them at the end. But
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Alabama when Nick Saban been saying, like, Alabama crushing people most of the year. You damn right. And Nick Saban's like, y'all up here giving my players rat poison. You know, that's pretty what it is. Like the rat poison, where everybody keeps telling you how good you are, fatten you up, and next thing you know, someone beats you. And I think,
you need to know. You need to know how your players will react in a bad situation. So in a basketball season, where it's 30+ games in a season, hey, nothing wrong with taking an L. Even if you're the sons of the Monstars, you gotta do what you gotta do.
What I noticed last night is R.J. Barrett don't trust nobody. When the game got tough,
that was my next question, Jim. I was about to ask y'all, because y'all know he's already getting the tag of ball hog. He's getting up. So what do y'all think? What do you think about that? You think he's a ball hog?
I don't know if he's a ball hog, but I did notice that. Like, when the game got tight or whatever, he's like, I don't trust nobody. I'm not getting. He would make some dumb plays. He was not giving the rock up. Like, Zion was sitting out there like, dog. Like,
I think ball hog is extreme, because ball hog is somebody, you're hogging the ball all the time. He plays hero ball. He's a hero ball dude.
Hey,
when you got like 3-4 other heroes on your team, I don't know if you can play that way.
You know what? I was watching that. I was thinking Mamba mentality. But
it's hard to be on Duke. It's hard to be on Duke with Mamba mentality, though. There's too many good players.
I gotta say this. I know you guys got to run, but hey, Alabama's going to destroy Auburn this weekend. That's nothing to talk about. It's going to be embarrassing. They may cut to another game, but
Well, wait a minute. Fred told me on Quick Slants. I don't know if you listened yet this week. He told me
I don't listen to Fred.
Iron
Fred
Bowl.
He
used the cliche. He said the Iron Bowl is one of those. He said that he's cooking. He said the Iron Bowl is one of those throw the records out type games, though. Anything can happen. So you don't believe that this week?
It's like the WWF where anything can happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
WWF where anything can be written into the script.
Hey, Auburn's going to get smoked, right? Hey, that smoke won't. Hey, they don't get smoked like your boy Tekashi 6ix9ine gonna get smoked in that playground at Gen Pop. But here's the thing, they don't get smoked. But I gotta get on my Bucks real quick. I don't know. You listen to it, Dad. I took it to you. Where I've been saying it, and now all these national guys are saying it. How disorganized the Bucks are, how poorly coached they are, how there's no culture, and who the hell is gonna succeed when you're that poorly coached and you have no culture.
Yeah, I might have to write me a Dirk Cutter article. I don't know if you remember the last coach when he was there, Schiano. I actually wrote an article on them because I went down to a game and I talked to people in the stands and how they felt about him. So I actually wrote an article on Greg Schiano. I'll send it to you if you don't remember that joint. But I might have to get in my Dirk Cutter bag now, especially since I hear all of this from you. So I'll just use you as my fan sources.
Put it like this. You watched the game, and O.B. Austin watched it when y'all played the Eagles. That's one of those, what the hell are they doing? And the thing is, Dirk Cutter is that white privileged coach, I tell you this. Name me the black coach who failed in college who got an NFL gig. He failed at Arizona State where you win 8 games a year, 9 games okay. You win 9 games, they bring you back out 10 years later to celebrate that team. And he couldn't even do that. And the problem is that if you're not a leader of men and you got young players, all these positions, it ain't going to work. And I'll say this also. Even Bucks fans are turning on your boy D-Jax here. They've been saying the D-Jax everybody else been saying all these years. If the ball ain't perfect, he ain't going to make an effort for it. He don't run that hard.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
One trick pony. I said I'm never going to diss him about his one trick. He's very good at his one trick, but for what he think he is and for what a lot of fans think he is, like you got to do more for the attitude he always want to give.
All praises to the god Tony Dungy, man, because he came down there and gave y'all hope for a couple years. But outside of Tony Dungy and that one chip that John,
now y'all complaining like y'all used to being good. Wrong with y'all?
Yeah, y'all ain't never really been good, to be honest with you. That's no shade. That's no shade.
You know what?
That's just more proof of how good Dungy is. Dungy bought a
Didn't they invent the paper bags over the head, or was that the thing?
Y'all invented that.
I I wear one.
Y'all really poop though, for real. Like y'all really are a terrible organization. But that just goes to show you how great Tony Dungy is. Tony Dungy was so great that he had y'all competitive, and even to the point of getting y'all to win a championship. And I guess it takes somebody.
Jimmy cooking y'all on Thanksgiving, man.
Hey, you know what?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to bust out laughing like, shout out to our brother Phil Matic.
Turkey
Phil
roast.
Matic put this. When y'all get a chance, not now after the show, Phil Matic put a video in the group chat of Frank Gore Jr., who's a good player now. I believe he's in high school. But this boy looks like he's about 42 years old. And I know Frank Gore's old in the face too. But Frank Gore Jr. look older than Frank Gore, and I'm trying not to laugh, but Frank Gore Jr. is just 51 years old. He the class of 2020, but it looks like in 2020 he's gonna be like 70 years old though.
Hey, you know what? Like y'all know about Dungy, and that's what about culture and picking right players. Because I was saying it forever, and I'm glad like people in the league see this. It's not just picking players; it's about building a team. And like I remember like when Warren Sapp and Brookson was there, and they got Keyshawn. Even though the OTAs was optional, they had a standard where everybody come to the OTAs, and they never liked Keyshawn over that because they set a standard as the leaders of the team. I know it was optional, but we coming here anyway. And I think some franchises like that, you need to make sure you got players who you can depend on as leaders who love the game, who are leaders, not just say we'll get a player here and play fantasy football. And I think that's what this team has messed up on. And depending on Brent Grimes being your number one cornerback is also a stupid idea. But, whose wife is better at her job than he's better at his. But
hold up. Brent Grimes is a baller now. Age might be showing itself a little bit.
Yeah, age is showing himself on him. And that's the problem. You're not supposed to depend on a 35-year-old to be your number one.
That's
and
true.
then have a bunch of rookies as your number 2 and 3 corners.
Brent depending on a 45-year-old to be his number one. Miko old as shit.
You ain't lying. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Miko trips y'all on Twitter, but marrying her is equivalent of the year 2018. You buying a 2008 S class. It's an S class, but it's old. But hey, you guys have a happy Turkey Day. Stay out of that sucking place, fellas. Hey, and the potato salad better be fire.
All right, roll that. Hey, stay away from that romaine. Yo, the CDC said we can't eat nothing this week. Go look at the list.
Hey,
man. We're really not supposed to eat turkey, romaine lettuce, like nothing. So everybody enjoy your big bowl of steam.
Hey, cause y'all know I turned 40 on this like a week or so ago. So I'm on as a black man, I made it past 26. So hey, I'm good. But
oldest black man alive at this point. Stay away from the man who's out there, man.
Yeah, I'd say, but hey, you guys take it easy, man. Have a good Turkey Day with y'all family, man.
You too. We'll holler at you next week.
We
had to let Tobias go for a while. He called in early to rock with us.
True indeed.
Shout out to Blackish. I know you saw the episode there. We said the oldest black man alive on Pop's birthday.
Yeah, love that show, man.
We said the oldest black man alive. I think Phil Matic is calling in, man. And damn you, Phil Matic, because I can't stop laughing at Frank Gore Jr., yo.
All right, I got it. Phil Matic is in the building. What up?
Happy Thursday, fellas. What's good?
What's up? Same to you and yours.
Happy Hell Day, beloved. I call this holiday Hell Day.
No!
Let's just call it what it is. It's just happy, get a good meal day, man. Get a better meal day.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. I'm all about my vittles, man.
Yeah, we got at least 2. I mean, some people get it in on Christmas as well. For us, so I guess it's like 3. We got Hell Day, we got Christmas Day, and we got cabin meals, cabin trip, retreat. Like
I know. Phil is
that's like Thanksgiving in February.
Phil is an urban chef, so I'm pretty sure he in the kitchen getting his Raekwon on right now.
Yeah, man, you in there like boom,
know, man. It's
boom.
I got Cuban links popping off. Yo, why you post that video though? Cause like you almost ruined me on the show. I had to mute myself. Yo, why is Frank Gore Jr. so old?
Jimmy being nice.
Man, he got an AARP card, yo.
Yo, he looked like a baby silverback gorilla, yo. It ain't even about food. That nigga coming straight out the mix, cuz.
Yo,
straight out the mix.
Hank said Frank Gore thinking he's slick. He just like, trying to get another run. He trying to get another run at it. That's not really his son. That's him. Man. That's the second childhood, man. Shout out to Nas, man.
Yo,
break his mom's
I'm just now looking at this. I'm like, what they talking about? Yo.
Yo, Frank Gore Jr. was born at 20. at 4.1 yards at a time. Yo, but he actually he's nice though. He actually run like his pop.
Well, he already got the scholarship to the U, so it's pretty much a done deal.
Well, shout out to Frank Gore Sr. then, because if he run like his pop, Jimmy, that just means, like we always say, that's our theory. I mean, he was a good father. Like Tim Hardaway Jr., he be lighting it up in New York, man. But the fact that he can't do a UTEP two-step, Tim Hardaway wouldn't do that, man.
Yo, he can't dribble at all. He just he can dribble and he can shoot. He definitely can shoot.
He putting 30s on people.
No, he got
Tim ain't teaching that. Yeah, Tim ain't. If Tim Hardaway's son ain't got an ill handle, then you fail. No matter how good of an NBA player he is, you fail.
Tim Hardaway was on the road when he was supposed to be teaching, crossovers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely
was trying to stay away from gay teammates. He was getting separate locker rooms.
Oh, yo! Yo!
John Amaechi couldn't have been on my team. Nah, I'm not into that.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway
in
2018, man.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway would have been on a team of one with all the boys the way they do that.
First of all, I wouldn't want him on my team, and second of all, if he was on my team, I would, really distance myself from him because I don't think that's right, and I don't think that he should be in a locker room while we're in a locker room, and it's just a whole lot of other things. So I wouldn't even be a part of that. But stuff like that going on, and there's a lot of other people out here like that's still in the closet and don't want to come out the closet. But I just leave that alone.
Look at the claws.
Yo, shout out
to the funny thing about all that is, he dropped all them bars and just said, you know what, I'm going to leave that alone. It's too late.
No, you didn't leave it alone. Because first of all, that's not the only clip we got of him. I ain't going to play the other clip because that's even longer. So he spent like 90 seconds on this whole thing talking about, but I'm going to leave that alone. Like, no,
but I'm going to leave that alone.
You didn't leave it alone. You gave the longest interview ever for anybody who's not gay about a gay player.
Yo, I'm going to slander the trash out of somebody and be like, you know what, but I'm going to leave that alone. That's my new thing.
No, after you go in on them for like 5 minutes.
You go in on them, but like, you know what, but I'm going to leave this alone.
That's like B. Austin saying right now, Donovan, I'm going to just go ahead and leave that alone. Like, whoa, you've been killing me for 20 years. It's like it's literally been almost 20 years.
Hey, yo, Phil Maddox, man. We know you the chef, man. So what's on your menu for the day, good brother?
Oh, man.
You got marriage on his menu.
All types of artery type poisons. I got ham. I got
yes, sir.
Green beans, collard
pig's
greens,
ass if they cook it right.
Potatoes. I got stuffing, or depending on where you at, dressing.
Dressing,
like
the hell is
Booger
that?
was on the Monday night game. My sister, she made some pies using my grandma's recipe. So
I tell your sister, her name not Patricia, is it? She making patty pies.
My sister gets busy with the pastries, but I had to call in because, man, y'all know I'm a football dude, and I hate to be the prisoner of the moment, boy, and I know y'all probably talked about it already, but where do y'all rank Monday night's game?
Oh, well, actually, we didn't. Wait, before you do that, let's segue that by talking. Because our stat of the week is the fact that the Chiefs became the first team in NFL history to drop a 50 spot and lose the game. So let's talk about it. Where do we rank that game? Man, it's all about the excitement meter though, because I've actually never been one. Like I'm a fan of defense, but since they've legislated it out of the game, I guess this is what we're left with.
This is what defense is now.
Yeah, like scoring more than the next team. That's how you defend. Go back out there and get a touchdown.
Best defense is a good offense.
I don't know, because we thought the Saints-Rams game was that work. And then the Rams get into another classic. I don't know. I mean, judging by today's standards, it has to be one of the best games people ever seen, right? In the post-defensive era.
I watched it twice.
You've already watched it twice?
No, I watched it twice that night. I watched it when it was happening live.
We forgot you got more hours in your day than the rest of us.
Yo,
how you watch a game twice that went off like midnight? The game went off at like midnight.
I figured it out, y'all. Phil is a vampire, yo.
Y'all know how I get down, man. I'll be on my 25th hour sometimes. But
35th
just
hour.
watching it, there was actually I mean, I don't need to go into all of them, but there were 9 actual legit good quality defensive plays that would have been good in any era. So this game was insane because they both scored 50 points and there was actual defense played, and that's ridiculous when a statement when.
See, but Phil, that's kind of
50.
the difference. Like these days, you have a bunch of offense and you have big defensive plays. You don't have like on a consistent basis teams that just shut you down and you just can't score.
2000 Ravens.
Think about the Super Bowl.
That's been eliminated.
Think about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You look at the score of the Super Bowl and you think that there was zero defense play, but there was a defensive play that won the game. So today it's like it used to be back in the day. Like a lot of teams had these stout defenses, and the first team that could get a big offensive play on one of these defenses will win. Now it's the other way around. The first team that can make a big play on defense.
Defense going forward, I think is going to be about playmakers, like who will be able to strip sack or get a clutch INT or something like that. Whereas it was about how many yards per game you could hold them to and the points per game. I think all of that is
the points per game filled with the bend don't break. Throw away the term bend don't break. It's going to be like break, but who could be the first to run to the medicine cabinet and get a Band-Aid real quick? Like break and cover up, break and heal. Like we got to find a new term that we can coin that we can make some money off of.
No more tackling in the game. So it's like I've been watching NFL games intently looking at tackling over the last 5 years. NFL players can no longer tackle. Like tackling is a skill where you might have 1 or 2 dudes on an entire roster that I could legitimately say are good tacklers. These guys can't tackle, so that's why also playmaking becomes a premium, because it's not like we're going to make good tackles. I've seen so many plays where guys have been hit where there should have been a minimal gain or a loss, and because they don't wrap up, because everybody's looking for kill shots or they're scared of the flag being thrown, they don't tackle at all.
Well, I know you have seen a bunch of those. You watch Eagles games.
I agree with you 100%, B. Austin, but I think tackling will gradually, we'll start to see it get better, because we had a whole generation of kids who were doing exactly what you said, just kill shots and not wrapping up. But
everything is cyclical anyway.
They're starting to get taught now, because I see it with the young boys here. A couple of my homies coach, and they had to go back and actually reteach them how to tackle without using their head and not go for the kill shot. So I think, and we'll start to see the generations who actually can tackle even though I don't think it'll actually be really allowed as the NFL starts to move forward.
Yeah, by the time that generation come, they're gonna be pulling flags or playing tags.
I think that I'm more intrigued by the fact that Phil watched the game twice in the same night. I'm just trying to figure out how to.
Like, yo, how do you do that, man?
Yeah. Phil, you definitely.
This is how it happened. I thought I might fall asleep, so I recorded it just in case, because I had a feeling it was going to be what it was. And so when I did watch it, I was like, yo, I don't think I really just realized what I just saw, because I was going back and forth between other stuff, and so I went back and I watched it, and I just skipped to on like the plays. Like the
so you
NFL
red zoned it basically. The Filmatic Red Zone channel.
Yeah, I skipped out all the commercials, all the watched it as I listened to Styles P album, Don Bag, shout out to that. So I didn't have to hear them commentate on it, and I just watched the plays. It is crazy.
Is that the worst Monday night crew in history? Can we agree on that? And there's been some bad ones.
Dennis Leary.
But as far as you watching the game twice in one night, Phil.
No human being can do that.
Yo, hey Phil, man. Phil, you are definitely Team Edward because you're a vampire, and for those who don't get the Team Edward reference, yes, it's Twilight. You know what I mean? I'm Team Edward and Team Jacob. I think I'm Team Jacob. But anyway, you something wrong with you, beloved. So you watching that game multiple times, but also YouTube TV is fire with the recording, though, ain't it?
Oh, it definitely is, man. Shout out to you, man, for I finally pushed the button, and I no longer have cords in the house of cords. You know what I mean?
You already know. Yo, YouTube TV gives you unlimited DVR. That's drawn. You start just recording stuff just because.
I tried to record one show and it gave me the previous 5. I was like, yo, this is the best. I'm not trying to get them no pub because they're not paying y'all, but yo, that joint is kind of dope.
It's banoodles, yo. It's banoodles.
But
anyway, man. Yeah, cut that check, yo. Google in general, cut us a check. We people of color. Anyway, yo, but I do gotta call you as a carpet man for your hoop slander, because that was kind of unnecessary, man. You was like, yo, hoops ain't as good as what you just watched. And I understand you was going through your emotions, man, but you ain't have to slander hoops though. Hoops ain't got nothing to do with that.
I didn't slander hoops at all. I said basketball is. I said at its height, when football is at its best. For my money, it's the best sport out when it's at its best.
Honestly,
I mean, it's rarely at its best, but
here's my point though. At its absolute best, I think baseball might got all of them beat. Dog, when a baseball game is heated, every pitch, yo, your nerves get like afraid, and every pitch your nerves are afraid, dog. Like me.
I kind of agree with you. The only thing with baseball, I think the teams have to matter to you. Like with football and basketball, I don't think the teams necessarily have to matter. You don't have to have a rooting interest to have that kind of feeling. But in baseball, I think you got to have a rooting interest.
I don't know about that, dog. Because there's some baseball games in the playoffs.
Maybe it's just me, because I can't.
What happens. I don't care what happens, but yo, it's so nerve-wracking that I'm like, yo, like I can't even. I damn near want to cut it off. Because every pitch be having me like, yeah, I mean, kikiing in my feelings.
Yeah, I mean, there's some validity to that. Baseball when the stakes are high, it is definitely worth watching. But it's just so hard to get there, man. Like I can't even tell you. I maybe watched like 2 total innings of this past World Series, and that's the least I've ever watched. In my lifetime.
No, I get what you're saying. I was just talking about that whole feeling of when you're watching a great game. And
Phil was probably the only one up for one of them games that went like 90 innings. And he still ain't watched.
I was just making the analogy in terms of when the game is at its ultimate peak and like, yo, you just can't like take it. Your nerves are bad. Like basketball is tough too, though. If you're in a game 7, like. Because you know how
that Cavs Warriors finals, that was pretty up there in terms of,
especially in 2018, where every shot and every play and every game like it determines your entire career. It's like, yo, when you in the Game 7, you know that everybody's about to be judged for the rest of their life.
Man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm chilling. I'm in the chat room because Phil had gave us his menu. Neil in the chat room gave us her menu, and I was over here drooling. It was similar. Ham, chicken, mac and cheese, cabbage, kale, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, biscuits, pound cake, and pie. And then she's going to listen to us as we're behind on the cooking. Man.
What's the address, beloved?
That's what I'm saying. A nice size plate, Keisha.
Yo, let me ask y'all a question.
Let me ask y'all
a question. On Thanksgiving, do y'all bust a breakfast grub, or do y'all just chill for the whole day and then like, what's the move on that?
I smell bacon right now.
Occasionally I do, but usually because I'm the one cooking. I'm eating some of the food that I'm preparing. But
I found, Jimmy, that didn't used to work for me. I used to starve myself and then think I was gonna go ham, and then I have one big plate and I was done.
No,
so I was like, let me just go normal because I'm a murk something later anyway. So that didn't work for me.
I'll have like 5 small plates throughout the day.
People rocking with us this early. We got another call on the line we got to get to.
I got a deep fried turkey, too.
Oh, snap. Yo, did y'all see, like, people buying, they had Cajun turkeys that they sell at Popeyes.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I've seen that.
Package, it says fully cooked, but I guess you got to throw it in the oven or something to heat it all through.
You got to heat it up.
Yeah, anybody ever taste that?
I was going to check one out for research purposes because there's a Popeyes near the house, but my man got a turkey air fryer, so we had to test that out and see what that's going for. So,
ain't it a Popeye out near the cabin, Jim?
Yo, one of these days we gonna have to like really address the fact that turkey overall is overrated though. Like
it is.
It is. But think about it. That's the reason why people are doing so many new things with it. Like a Cajun turkey, like you got my eyebrows up because regular turkey got old a long time ago. But a Cajun turkey, air fried turkey,
if someone's the greatest maker of turkey, right? There's only so much flavor you're gonna get out of that bird. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Turkey is like the chessman to the 5 heartbeats. I mean, it's real super, generic.
Yo, you trying to say like turkey is like Chic Luch, right? So it's like it's cool, but it's better with the other two.
Don't do that.
Like
don't do
don't.
No, that's only good with everything else.
It's not slander though. What I'm saying is like, but when it has all the stuff around it, like it's just you know what I'm saying. Anyway,
Donnie GB on BT more than Leprechaun 3.
Hey,
we got to address that though.
Phil, get back to your meal because I'm sitting here looking. The switchboard is lighting up. I can't believe everybody up this early.
Oh yeah.
No rat to you. And remember, your boy is in the area, so if you got a plate for a knuckle.
That's right.
Just let me know.
Of course.
And I'll be by to get it.
Already. We'll rap about that after the show. But y'all be safe. Y'all on the road, and I'll chop it up with y'all in the pit.
All right.
You already know.
All
right, peace, King. Peace.
Yo, people are rocking with us. We got another call from out on the West Coast, the left coast.
Up at 6 a.m. in the morning.
We got the homie Rob calling in from out in the West Coast. Rob, what's going on, good brother? Happy Turkey Day.
Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing, man?
We
Top
good.
of the morning.
How are you?
It's like 6 o'clock over there, ain't it?
Early bird gets the worm, man.
Already.
Yeah. And by the way, when you get by the way, all caps, man, if you get it in just early, you'll make it in time for work the next morning. But anyways, man, how y'all doing?
Man, we
good, man. How are you?
You know what I'm saying? We middle-aged black men.
What's up?
Great.
What you want to talk about? We always press for minutes here.
Oh, all right, man. First of all, I gotta say, one thing about the Eagles, I'm gonna say, Eagle fans, relax. Let's not act like we haven't had a bad season before. And the thing that this bad season has taught me was to cherish every moment while it lasts. That's why B. Austin kept telling me the off season. He kept saying, "Rob, we won the Super Bowl. Relax, relax." Because you never know.
You sound like somebody. You sound like somebody who just lost a loved one, man. That's the kind of stuff people say lose a loved one, man. You got to cherish every minute.
I'm sorry, please, man.
You're right, though, right? There's a lot of people out there that's really up in arms. I see people like, man, I'm done with the Eagles. Like, yo, we were just at a parade, though, that you've never seen before. Like, calm down. Like,
I was waiting all my life for that moment. All the slander, all the McNabb, all the I got.
But you know what though? You know what though? That's how fans are. Like, I was in the room with a bunch of cats from Boston like a week ago, and they were like going off about the Patriots, and I'm sitting there laughing like, really?
Right? Like, come on, yeah.
Like,
oh
really?
my God!
They were really pissed. Like, they were really pissed. I was at this training with a bunch of cats from Boston. It was a bunch of us from Philly and Boston in the room, and they were like complaining about the Patriots, and I'm like, they were talking about
Tennessee smashed them.
Yeah, they were talking about whether Brady was done. Like, is it time to start over? I'm like, yo, that was one game, and y'all win all the time. What is wrong with you? But
they play in every Super Bowl. Y'all play in every Super Bowl.
Yo, that's what fans do, man. But the thing about it is that fanatic spirit is what builds these big stadiums, because cats love the emotional roller coaster of being a fan.
I know, just like that parody of an Eagles fan, EDP 445. But anyways, man, I want to talk about basketball real quick. Switch gears. Fire Luke Walton. Fire Luke. Get him out of here, bro. Like, yo.
And then he goes back and does it all. He like, I'm gonna just do it on the Lakers. Fire all of them.
Fire.
Yo, Rob,
I'm
gonna tell you what, you're funny, Rob. You always call for somebody's job, man. Like, yo, man, I don't know what you do for a living, man, but imagine somebody coming to your gig all the time. Yo, fire Rob.
No. Dude, it's like there was time. I don't know what he was trying to do, but the thing is that there were times when they were running pick and roll. I'm like, yo, just take the shot and I go for layups. Like you want to help develop these dudes, you need to shoot. Like, did he learn nothing from coaching from Kobe? Like, yo, shoot. Like, Kyle Kuzma, let him shoot. Brandon Ingram uses lengthy dinosaur velociraptor self to shoot. Like, come on, shoot. And stop letting LeBron carry the load. LeBron he's a good player, but he's not that prolific scorer so he can carry the load. Like, come on now. Like,
why ain't he?
Why? Because that's just who he is. That's just who he is. I can name of all time. I can name like 5 scorers who are better than him.
Yeah, the 4 in front of him on the all-time list.
Like,
that he's about to pass. like what are we talking about? That's another cliche about LeBron. LeBron is passed first. LeBron, one of the greatest scorers in the league history.
Wait. So would you pick him scoring over Iverson? Come on now. I want the Austin to speak too.
Probably.
Yeah, I would.
He's bigger. He can score easier.
And he's more efficient. He's more efficient. So,
dog. LeBron, and I hate LeBron. Yo, LeBron is a better scorer than Allen Iverson. He's 6'9" and 280 pounds, Rob.
Yo, but hold up though, Rob. He's more efficient for one, and for two, the reason people don't look at him as a scorer is because he does so many other things. I think that speaks actually to his greatness, is the fact that Cass is like, he ain't no scorer. He's passed first. Well, there's only 4 dudes in the history of the game that have scored.
Like, what are we? And he's going to pass all of them. Like, he's going to retire as the league's all-time leading scorer. Like, at some point, after 16 years, it's time for us to get off of this LeBron James is not a scorer thing. Like, that don't even make sense.
Yo,
he's second in the league in scoring right now,
that.
and the only reason he's second is because Kemba has 60 and 43 back to back.
Yo,
you
made a good point. LeBron does so many other things that we pay attention to. If LeBron stopped rebounding, stopped assisting the ball, and we just went with scoring, he's still a Hall of Fame player. Like his scoring alone.
LeBron scores 20 points, and that's an off night. Yo, this cat's in the Hall of Fame who scored 20 points and got in the Hall of Fame. Like, 20 points for LeBron is like an off night. If his jump shot is falling, it's curtains. That's when it's 40-50 range. It's like he does so many things on the court well. Like, I was just talking about that before you came on, Rob, earlier. I was like, yo, LeBron scored 50 and nobody even said anything. Like, it wasn't even a big deal.
I did.
LeBron averages 27 points for his career, and we're saying he's not a scorer. He averages 27 points per game.
I said prolific, so he can get his. He can get his, but there's still dudes above him I would pick. You know what I'm saying? Or even below him I would pick. Over him. But
I feel you. I mean, because there's people that have reputations for being scorers. That might not be his reputation, but I mean the numbers are right there. He scores.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Mike averaged 30 points a game for his career.
30 points even.
Yo, Brian averages
less
27.
than 3 points behind
Brian
Mike.
Averages 27.
And he's only like 1,000 points behind Mike on the all-time leading scoring list, and he's taking like 300 less shots than Mike or something crazy like that.
Because he's more efficient.
I would say that because remember one season Mike averaged 37 a game.
No, listen, but we're talking about averages of a career. Yes, Mike averaged 37 one season.
We're not saying
he averaged 31. That was his high.
We're not saying that LeBron is better scorer than Michael Jordan, but we are saying
definitely not saying that.
No. What I'm saying is, if Mike is considered a great scorer at 30, and this dude is putting up 27 more efficiently, how can we not consider him a great scorer? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. I agree.
The greatest scorer of all time is George Marcus, and that's just without a doubt, without question what it is. And that's a double entendre for those who didn't catch that. So anyway, Rob.
Oh, all right. I got. Dang, what I want to ask y'all too. Well, I want to ask Jimmy real quick. Jimmy. Well, two things. I want to ask Jimmy one thing. Who would you like to see the Lakers trade to get that will elevate the team? Other than firing Luke Walton, because he needs to go. He got to get his behind the eye down. He got to drop him.
Yo, honestly, right now, I don't think there's anybody that I would like to see them trade for. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that a lot of times we do too much, in terms of just trading and making moves. Like you gotta let these young boys play and figure it out. Like there's a lot of young talent on this team, and to be honest with you, I think that we would have. Perhaps I don't want to say that. Like not adding LeBron, you gotta add the best player when he wants to come to your team, but. Them young dudes, man, got to figure it out, especially if your boy is supposed to have as much potential as he supposedly has. But outside of that, Kuzma, Ball, Hart, they got to figure out how to play. Like, we can't just we got trade for this and trade for that because the trades that I'm hearing, to me, doesn't sound like it's going to make us any better of a team. You need to make a move that's going to get you some shooters. Like the whole idea of bringing in Kyle Korver, which I heard is a rumor, I think that's the move you need. Something like that. You need a shooter. You need to, figure out a way to recruit Clay, get Clay on the team. You need some shooters. That's what they need. That's all they need is shooters.
What about Bradley Beal?
Clay and LeBron would be a problem.
What about Bradley? What about Bradley?
Yeah, what would you have to give up to get Bradley Beal?
Yeah. You have to. That's a great point, Jimmy.
Them dudes that everybody already rumoring they ought to give up.
You got to give up more than Bradley Beal is worth. Bradley Beal is a nice little player, fringe all-star, but in this day and age, he gets a max. So you got to give up more than he's worth. He's not worth.
Yeah. So I mean, Rob, you got to let these young boys figure it out. Like it's not like They just won like 6 out of the last 7 games, and you come in here talking about firing people.
Look, yo, sports fans are crazy, man.
Listen,
sports fans are the worst.
Listen, y'all gotta understand. During when the Lakers is really on top, you gotta understand if they hold teams under 100 points in the Staples Center, everybody in the whole stadium gets free tacos. You know what I'm saying?
It's about tacos now?
Team scoring 140 these years. It's just like the NFL, dude. Ain't no defense. They want people to score.
I think,
they need a new promotion. Sixers, you missed 2 free throws in the fourth quarter. Everybody get Frosties.
So Bob pointed it out that yesterday the Bucks played a game and they gave up like 120 and still won by like 40. Like something stupid like that. They gave up like 110 points and they still won by like 40 points.
He's on the line. So, Rob, we got to move on because we only got a few minutes left and we got another caller to get to, all right?
All right, Rob.
Happy Turkey Day, good brother.
All right, happy Thanksgiving, gobble.
All right. What you say?
Yo, that boy just said gobble, gobble, yo.
Oh, I ain't understand what he said. We're going to get Vibe on the line, also of Tissue in the Tape. Vibe, what's going on, man? Happy Turkey Day, brother.
Hey, man, like my man from the originator of the Brotherhood said, man, Father U.C. King, Thanksgiving, man. That's what he said when they asked him about that last night. So, happy Turkey Day to everybody, man. Happy Family Day, man. Just wanted to call and talk a little bit of, just talk a little bit of Chiefs real quick. I heard my brother Phil on the line talking about, it's one of the greatest games of all time. Definitely was from the entertainment standpoint, definitely was a very entertaining game. Same old Andy Reid. Andy Reid has a way of breaking NFL records in a way that nobody has ever done before, so shout to him. But at its height, man, this game of ours, La Costa Nostra, is definitely, it's definitely what it is. We know what it is when it's at its best.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Nothing.
Even college, for as bad as that game is, a lot of times with the rules and the refs, even when it's at its height, it's still just nothing like that. Basketball.
Dog, March Madness?
Yeah.
You got like an underdog playing somebody and it gets close to the end of the game. Like
exactly.
Crazy.
This game, this thing of ours has allowed so many great players a platform, man. It gave Tim Duncan the opportunity to steal 6 years.
He taking shots. Shots fired. But Jimmy, you said something about what Vi said about the Bucks game. What were you talking about? The one from last night where
the Bucks
where Portland scored 100 points and still lost by 43.
Yeah, that's what it was. How you score 100 and you lose by 43?
Yo, that's crazy.
One of my theories is that the MVP race, so in the Steph Curry era, it's over by Thanksgiving. So they automatically set up a queue. They put like 3 or 4 guys at the beginning of the season. They put them in a queue, and then whoever's having the best season by Thanksgiving is an MVP. And if you look at the past 4 MVPs,
all they got to do is not
5,
miss a whole ton of games after Thanksgiving.
That's it.
And
That's
you got it.
That's it. Like right now, the top 3 pretty like Embiid should definitely be up there with, Giannis and AD right now. But they're going to kind of get him out of there. Right, they're going to get him out of there. So, but I just wanted to just say right now, the Memphis Grizzlies are the 1 seed in the Western Conference. Steve Kerr just endured his first 4-game losing streak in his career, so that tells you how sweet he's had it, just over the past, 4 or 5 seasons. So this is his first time, having like a bad streak of games. So.
It's like, even though that's not going to last, it makes me feel better about us losing to the Grizzlies. Right, at least now. Right. So when they're terrible later in the season, I can be like, well, at least they were up top when we lost to them.
Right.
Hey, Vi, I got a question for you, Vi.
Yeah.
How you think our Blue Devils are going to bounce back from that game yesterday?
Hey, listen, Jimmy. I'd like to walk you to the Brotherhood. I saw it coming. I saw it evolving over the summer. some of the things you were saying, and then now that you're fully indoctrinated, I appreciate your membership, brother.
I ain't gonna front. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I really don't have a college team, but I just like watching them play. I just do because, like, because the thing about sports is this, right? You like to see people do things that you know you can't do, and the way these young boys fly, like, it's just humanly impossible. So I just enjoy watching them play, and I like to joke with you about, but anyway, I did think that
being a fan,
even yesterday being a loss, that was a good game to watch.
Right. Being a fan, because he's getting that title already. You think R.J. Barrett is a ball hog, or you just think he's a hero ball dude?
He's out for his, man. He definitely is a little bit of jealousy. You can just see it in the way he plays.
Yeah, because Zion gets all the attention, but he's really supposed to be the best all-around player.
Right.
The dude getting all his attention.
Zion,
I mean, even with the last play of the game. Yeah.
I just want to speak for the next 30 seconds incredulously of Zion.
Oh no.
Zion got fat, yo. Yo, he's still a fat boy, yo. He's 310 pounds and got a 48-inch vertical. And I know I ought to
be adding pounds and inches to every.
I know. Every time we talk about him, Boy get a little bit heavier. But
like LeBron already 7'16" and 460 pounds since he started.
What's interesting about what you said, Vod, is that when you think about it, right? So one of the things about these guys being like 1, 2, and 3 is at some point they're competing with each other. Like, could that be the thing that hurts them throughout the season, where it's like, I'm trying to prove I'm the number one player. This dude getting all the attention.
Well, you
Cam,
can see that.
To me, is the smooth.
Cam is the smoothest by far, but you could see he was pressing versus Auburn the other night, and that really got him into foul trouble. His head wasn't in the game just because he was just like, yo, I'm nice too, dog. Like, yo, like.
The crazy part about it, Vod, is Zion is the one who I hadn't seen go down that rabbit hole yet. Probably because he's the one getting all the damn props, but.
And I think they look for him too, though. If you look at the other guys, like when they're on the floor, kind of just looking at it a little bit more closely, like they look for him on every possession, and like any time that RJ doesn't have the ball, he's kind of just off to the side. That's why he be jacking like that. So.
I mean, because with him, like, you just throw the ball over the rim and he can go get it, or you give it to him and all he got to do is turn his shoulder and it's an easy layup. Like, I'll be looking for him too if I was one of the other guys.
To me, what's most impressive to me about Zion is that he does everything within the flow of the game. I've seen a lot of highly touted guys who like force it because they're highly touted. Like, I have this reputation to live up to. RJ. He doesn't do that, and he doesn't. Yeah, pretty much. Like, he doesn't care what. To me, it comes off like, I don't know, that he doesn't care what his box score looks like. He just does things within the flow of the game, and to me, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I actually go long stretches in games and don't even see dudes shoot. And I'm like, yo, I tuned in to watch you shoot.
Everything's within the flow of the game. And shout out to the boy Trey Jones too, because like he was one of the highest recruited dudes, and he don't even get mentioned.
I know.
Shout out to his missed dunk.
Don't they have a white boy Matt McClung or whatever?
No, that's Georgetown.
Oh, that's Georgetown. See how much I know about college ball.
That's the boy. That's the boy that was dunking on everybody in high school. What is he doing?
Yeah, he had like 12 the other night. He all right. He ain't killing it as far as his numbers.
Nah. Yeah, he's before his time. He should have been the professor's assistant and one or something like that. He's before his time.
The professor's assistant.
Igor.
So Savad, he don't belong. He don't belong in the brotherhood anywhere near.
Oh no. He's a little too pale. This sounds funny, but his game's a little bit too pale for what we got going on right now in Durham, man. It's different right now, man. If I can get my Tobias on for a couple minutes, it's different down there in Durham right now, man.
I just sit here and think about, like, right, first of all, a couple things, right? Survive. When you get a chance. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you the link. Your man Jason Shitlock was talking about how there's no way possible that Andy Reid isn't going to ruin the Chiefs' season in the playoffs. And I know you may agree with that.
Yeah.
But
I hate to agree with Shitlock. Like, I hate anything you say that I agree with.
I've been hating dude for over 25 years, definitely. But he he's right on this one, man. This season has heartbreak written all over it. You
like
know,
you can say
anytime
something that has nothing to do with race relations in sports, but you still feel like a coon if you agree with anything he say. Like, damn, I disagree with him.
Bad, but if it's one thing he knows, it's definitely Chief. And you know, Andy Reid has shown.
Yeah.
So you know, we scored 40 and lost, and then scored 51 and lost. Come on, man. Like,
I just setting loss records.
When the chips are on the table. Big shit.
All right, man. We about to get out of here, bye. So appreciate the call.
Hey,
everybody, make sure you check out
too.
Tissue and the Tape.
Yes, sir.
So if you're a hip hop head, there's nothing else for you to check out. But happy Turkey Day to you and yours, good brother.
Man,
all
same
right,
to
brother.
you good brothers, man. All right.
All right, man. Peace, family.
All right, and we about to get up out of here. Before we do, just want to give a quick shout-out. Shout-out to Alshon Jeffrey, who was getting his Nino on in the community. Handed out over 400 turkeys for the holiday. Birthday shout-outs to Boris Becker, Eric Allen, Benoit Benjamin, or did he pronounce his name Benoit? James Edwards, and Billie Jean King. Happy birthday shout-outs to those good people on this Turkey Day, but we are about to get up out of chair. And as we always let you guys know at this time, we thank you. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us for another briefing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody who got up early with us. The chat room, Facebook, Twitter, the War Room Sports Game Time group, on the GroupMe app, and all the callers who even, woke up, called in to holler at us. Special thanks to Gus Griffin for sending in his picks, even though he didn't get up with us. But everybody tune in next week, live right here on demand. We're going to recap NFL Week 12, preview Week 13, and catch you up on everything else happening in sports. So until then, enjoy your Turkey Day, enjoy your weekend, the start of next week, and we'll see you right back here next time. Be sure to catch our conversations on Facebook, Twitter, as well as our blogs, webcasts, and network podcasts on warroomsports.com. Also, make sure you pick up a copy of Jimmy's book. We ain't forget about that. sportsthebook.com or warroomsports.com. Until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity and be steadfast in the war against ignorance. Don't kill yourself from food poisoning today, and we'll see you chumps on top.
Jimmy, know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, .Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Worth it, secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC, royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dev, DJ, Jack Beck, B. Austin. I'm Jack. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.